we must agree that the Commission in every election, it's becoming more and more better in terms of clarifying and refining not just the results passed, but actually generally the use of technology. The only challenge the Commission has is that we are more or less dependent on proprietary softwares for purposes of conducting some of these electoral activities that require us to use technology. The reason being, the Commission does not have the capacity to develop its own softwares. And even if we did, we do not have the funding to do so. And so when you are underfunded for 5 years and you are given money a year to the election, at what point do you develop a software or an application that is suitable enough to be used in the election that is 1 year away? It's practically impossible. And so that's why the Commission has to use proprietary softwares, and in doing so, we make sure that we safeguard the interest of the Commission and the country as much as possible within the specs that we develop. And the Commission is guided by the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, and we strictly adhere to the Act and the attendant regulations, and therefore we procure within the existing laws. It's not the Commission that wakes up and then decides to give technology or any other services or goods that we require to farms. So we are guided, we follow the guidelines. It's because of the late disbursement of resources that make the Commission to go for proprietary softwares. And the Commission has the capacity. We have developed a lot of other in-house applications for other uses. And if the Commission is funded early enough, it can develop this kind of application and have an ample time to test that technology, fine-tune and improve in readiness for an election. But of course, this doesn't happen. But the Commission will continue to be transparent in the technology that we are deploying in whatever activities that is ideas. Again, from the various observation reports, what they say about voter register. But as a Commission, the biggest challenge we had in terms of voter registration drives is the lack of funding. If you recognized in this particular electoral season, we had changed from mass voter registration, which was the terminology used in 2017, to what we were calling enhanced voter registration. There are reasons for that. When it was mass voter registration, we had much more number of people involved in the exercise, and we had deployed much more staff in the wards. Actually, every registration center was covered. Now, because of the inadequate funding, or rather the funding that was limited, we had to change strategy by saying we will have 3 kits per ward. This means these 3 kits were not like all the registration centers in the ward. And so, whereas the normal exercise of voter registration only used to happen, what we call the continuous voter registration, which is what is in the law, it only used to happen in the constituency offices, which means 1 site in every constituency, walk-ins. But because we are making 3 sites in a ward, then we thought that was an enhanced way of doing the normal continuous voter registration. So that is how these terminologies came into being. All said and done, the reason why we did not do a mass voter is because of the limitations of funding. The best way is to have enhanced continuous voter registration, or rather to undertake the continuous exercise but allow the commission employees at the constituencies to be mobile within their constituencies to cover all the wards. They can decide to do it in defined routes, in defined days of the days of the week, or any other way, but they define routes for every ward so that they can capture people as they turn 18. Now, this is the best way. But now, if each year when we do our annual budgets and we include that item, it has always been the first thing to be removed. And so this is why we wait for 5 years, and we have not done substantial voter registration, and therefore we do this either mass or enhanced or whatever other terminologies that will be used. So the best thing is, and I think now that we are done with the elections, we will engage relevant government offices to support this initiative of really making the registration truly continuous, so that we can have it in every ward. We empower our returning officers to have staff with them, temporary staff with them that can help them in the activities in every ward. I think that's the ideal thing, which we will try and see how we can engage the relevant government offices. In terms of the register itself,
ABC amendment bill that is stuck in the National Assembly. That is a product of our initiative as a commission to amend the IBC Act and provide for a second review, because as it were, the Israel provision of the IBC Act section 36 only addressed the first review that was undertaken in the year 2012. We have also the schedule of the IBC Act that also needs to be amended to provide for a very comprehensive procedure of that delimitation. So pressure needs to mount on the National Assembly to pass this bill in order for us to realize a delimitation process that is grounded in a statute. Because as it were, the Constitution merely provides the framework, a skeleton framework. So you need a statute to ingrain that constitutional skeleton provision so that the details on how to undertake the review process may be clear to all stakeholders. I want to believe that I have addressed most of